Okay, if you've decided to display your book on Novelicity, congratulations. It's hopefully going to help get you the exposure you need, help accelerate your writing career, maybe get a publisher to spot you, sign you to a contract, or at very least get more readers to see your book and ultimately buy it if you're self-publishing. What I want to do here is walk you through the process of signing up and accessing the back end to add your book releases. So we'll do that on the writer page. Let me show you how we got here. From the home page, you can click on this right now link, or from the drop down, if you see the right link here, you can access the page, read through that, and then you'll be able to fill out the form to submit your book. Enter your email address. We're going to use a different one here. Enter your name. All the fields are required, so make sure you fill them all out. Is your book complete? We want your book to be finished if you're releasing it on Novelicity. Do you want your book listed on our sales page? In the next couple of weeks here, we're going to create a sales page that readers can access to purchase your book in whatever format you want to sell it in. If you're selling in a hard copy, if you're selling a soft copy, if you're selling an ebook, we can link over to your sales page, or we can create our own. So just go ahead and answer whether or not you have one and if you want to be listed on our sales page. Most importantly, is your book under contract with anyone? We cannot list you on Novelicity if you have a contract with any publisher, any agent, anything like that. So make sure that you don't. But if you do end up, say, listing your book on Novelicity and then getting signed by a publishing company, that's fantastic. That's what we want, honestly. You just notify us, let us know that you have to remove your book, and we'll do that for you. You can also notify us anytime if you want to remove your book for any other reason. We have no problem with that whatsoever. There is going to be a 15-day delay on removing your book from Novelicity, and that's just so that our readers can finish reading any releases you have, can be notified that the book is going to be removed altogether. They can be able to decide, I want to go and buy this book, so they can access your sales page or the sales page we've created for your book, and they'll be able to buy it there. So that's the reason for the 15-day delay. Once you fill out all of this, you'll click Request Book Submission. I'm not going to click it here because I already did for the example. You'll get an email. A lot of times the email ends up in the spam folder, so make sure you check your spam folder if you don't see it come to your inbox. And it's not going to be real time, so there might be a 24-hour delay. So if you've waited 24 hours and you haven't received anything, just reach out to us on our contact page, and we'll figure out what's going on. But definitely check your spam folder. The email is going to come from Ghost. That's the back end that we're using. We've got the front end completely customized, but for what we're trying to do in this beta release, we're using Ghost Publishing's back end. And it just makes it easy for you guys, and it makes it so that we were able to get a product out to our writers and to our readers. This is what the email is going to look like, so just click here to activate your account. It'll pull over your email address, enter your full name, create a password, and create your account, and you should be in as soon as it does that. So you'll see you haven't written any posts yet. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and create your first book. Just click Write a Post. Put your book title in here. You want to also, I don't know, whatever format you want to use is fine with us. Just make sure that you identify what release this is. So in this case, it's going to be your first release, release 1, and give an idea of how many chapters are in there. Let's say you're releasing 3 chapters with this release. The beautiful thing about this backend is that you can just copy and paste. Go ahead and highlight all 3 chapters of your book, paste them into this section here. And it'll show up exactly as it's displayed in Microsoft Word or whatever program you're using. You can paste it in. We're going to give you a couple of snippets of code to display in the beginning that'll allow you to just edit the summary, edit any prior releases that you have. So if you're on, say, your 3rd release, you'll be able to edit the links and link back to your other ones, because obviously you want the people reading your book to be able to get back to the 1st release or the 2nd release. We're going to provide that code. All you're going to have to do is edit some very easy areas and add a summary of your book. Summary is going to come at the beginning of every single release because we want the readers to know what they're reading about. They may not be accessing your book from release 1 initially, so they'll hit that summary page on every release that you have, which is a good thing. They'll know what they're getting into, and they'll be able to decide if they want to read it or not from that summary. At the end of your release, you're also going to have a snippet of code that we're going to provide that all you have to do is edit the date of your next release. It's completely up to you how often you want releases to come out. So if you want to release every 3 days or every 5 days or every week, it's perfectly fine. All you have to do is just edit the date in the section for next release date. It's going to be really easy for you to use. And that's it. So once you have your first release, you can come down here, publish, and it is now published. You can see it in your content section. You've got book title, release 1 right here. Now you're ready to we want you to get all of your releases in at once. So go ahead and start a new post here, which is really just a new release. Again, do your book title, release 2, chapters, 4 through 7. And then again, paste your release, all the chapters in here, edit the snippet of code that we're going to provide you. Everything should look the same as your first release. So each release should look the same except for the actual content of your book. The only difference is, besides your first release, you're going to hit Save Draft on all of the rest of the releases. And you'll notice here in the content window that now it's in draft form. And you'll just do that for the rest of your releases. I'm only going to do one more for the example. And again, you paste your information in here, edit the snippets of code that we provided, save your draft. All of your book content will now be displayed in this window. All you'll have to do is come back, and when it's time to release your book, so let's say you're doing a weekly one, you set a calendar reminder for yourself to come back in a week later. You come into your next release, edit it, come down here and change to publish now. And now you've got 2 releases published. And you'll just do that for each of the releases as the time comes. So make sure you're setting yourself a calendar to do so. If you have any issues with that, you can always reach out to us. There's one more key piece that I left out here. So when you're first entering your book information, you want to come down here to this little, looks like a price tag. These are tags. These are what's going to allow the readers to find your book under different categories. So if you're writing an adventure novel, go ahead and put that in. If it's a young adult novel as well, put as many tags as apply to your book. Don't abuse it. Don't put more tags than apply to your actual book. Don't put a romance tag in there if your book is a sci-fi thriller. But go ahead and put the tags in there. We'll be creating additional category pages for the readers as we see books come in with tags that we don't already have links to. So you'll be able to enter that in. You want to do it on every single one of your releases. And that's that. Now, every time you publish a release, the readers are going to be able to access that. It's automatically going to display on Novelicity. One other thing you might want to do, you don't have to since none of your personal information is going to show up, but if you want to edit your profile so that we at Novelicity know who you are, if you have a website, anything like that, you can enter it all in here. I got to that from the drop down here, your profile. And it's as simple as that. If you want to add a picture, the hope is that in the next couple of weeks, another thing I'm specifically working on is getting author pictures on the main page. So instead of just your release and your name, there will be a picture here of the author, because I believe that readers associate books with pictures, so they're going to know, oh, this is the author that I really like, just based on the picture. So I encourage you to add the picture in there. We're going to get that working. You can change your cover if you feel like it. None of that's going to impact the actual book and release itself. But that is the entire rundown of adding books to Novelicity. If you have any questions, please use the contact page, reach out to us. We're excited to get your books on the platform.